What would you do if your phone rang, and the voice on the other end was yours, but from the day before? Stay till the twist. The call came at 2:11 a.m. Elliot had been asleep only an hour. The ringtone was a shrill default chime, the kind that gets under your skin. At first, he stared at the glowing screen in a daze, blinking away sleep. Unknown caller. He let it ring, but it didn't stop. On the third attempt, he answered. "Hello?" he said, voice hoarse. A pause, then a breath. Then, his own voice, unmistakably his, came through the line. "Elliot, it's me. It's you. From yesterday." Silence. Elliot sat up in bed, heart suddenly thudding. "Who the hell is this?" he asked. "I don't have time to convince you," the voice said. "You have to listen. You did something yesterday. Something horrible. And I need you to fix it before it happens again." Elliot stood, pulling the charger from his phone. "This is a joke. Who is this?" "Check your left hand," the voice said. Elliot looked down. A small crescent-shaped scar, new, raw, cut across the base of his thumb. He didn't remember getting it. "I know you don't remember how you got that," the voice continued. "But you will." The line went dead. Elliot didn't sleep. He turned the lights on, checked the windows, sat in the kitchen, staring into nothing. The call was a prank. It had to be. And yet he couldn't stop looking at the scar. The next morning, Elliot called Mark. Mark was the only person he still talked to from college, the only one who didn't find his presence oppressive. Mark was methodical, even-keeled. He'd know. "What to do? You ever get a call?" Elliot said. "From yourself?" "A beat." "Like a butt dial?" "No, like you're on the phone. And it's your voice. And it says it's you. From the past." Mark laughed softly. What kind of edibles are you on?" "I'm serious." "Okay, let's say it really happened." "What did you say?" "You from the past?" "From yesterday. Said I'd done something bad." Mark was silent a while, then carefully. "You've been forgetting things again." Elliot's jaw clenched. It's not like before. He'd had episodes, sure. In college. Long stretches of disassociation, lost time. But he was better now, working, sober, normal. "You seeing your therapist?" "No." "Maybe you should," Mark said. "Could be stress. Could be a dream, honestly. You sleepwalk. You know that." "I wasn't asleep," Elliot snapped. "Okay. Then let's figure it out." "You remember what you did yesterday?" Elliot thought. "I got groceries. I took a walk." "That's it?" "I think so." "Check your phone. Photos, messages, anything weird." There was a photo. Taken at 6:12 p.m. A blurry shot of a wooded path, pale gravel, trees rising like bars in a cage. He had no memory of taking it. He zoomed in. A figure, barely visible, stood at the far end of the path. Male, still, watching. "I need to go," Elliot said. He deleted the photo, but his hand kept shaking. He took the same path that afternoon. It ran behind his apartment complex, a winding trail swallowed by forest. Elliot often walked there to think. It was familiar. Safe. But today, every rustling leaf sounded like breath. Every shadow held weight. He reached the spot where he must have taken the photo. Nothing. No figure, no sign of anyone. Until he looked down. There, half buried in the gravel, was a phone. Old, cracked. An exact match for the one he was holding. He picked it up. The screen lit. No lock screen. Only one app. A call log. 3 entries. All outgoing. All at 2:11 a.m. All to his number. His blood ran cold. He turned and ran. That night he couldn't sleep. Every sound felt louder than it should. He locked the windows, then double-checked the front door. Still, he felt watched. At 2:11 a.m., the phone rang again. Unknown caller. He picked up. "Elliot," the voice said, shaking. "It's me again. You didn't listen. You found the phone, that's good. But you're out of time." "Why can't—" "You just tell me?" Elliot shouted. "What did I do?" The voice trembled. I killed someone." Elliot froze. "What?" "In the woods, yesterday. I don't know who. I don't remember it. But I saw it today. I buried him. With the knife." Elliot's mouth was dry. "What are you talking about?" "You'll remember," the voice said. "When you wake up." Morning. Light through curtains. Elliot sat bolt upright, sweating. He ran to the bathroom, stared in the mirror. Dirt under his nails. Dried blood on his sleeve. No knife, no memory. He called Mark. "Something's wrong," he said. "There's blood on my shirt." "Jesus, Elliot. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything. I think I killed someone." Mark was silent. "Tell me where you are," he said. Mark arrived 20 minutes later. They sat at the table, Elliot's bloody sleeve spread out like evidence between them. "Did you call the police?" Mark asked. "And say what?" "I might have killed someone, but I'm not sure." "You need help, El." Elliot stood. "Paste. There was a knife," he said. "I saw it. I don't know where I put it." Mark stared at him. "Do you want me to help you look?" They returned to the trail. Mid-afternoon. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, but it didn't warm anything. The air was damp, rotting. A heavy silence hung over everything. Elliot led Mark to the spot from the photo. "Here," he said. "Somewhere here." Mark looked down, then pointed, a patch of disturbed earth. Fresh. They dug with bare hands. 6 inches down, the soil turned red. The body was curled into a fetal position, face pale, eyes open, the throat a wide, gaping slash. The smell hit them both at once. Mark staggered back, vomiting. Elliot stared. The corpse was him, same hair, same scar on the left hand, even the same blood-stained shirt. He fell to his knees. "No, no, no, no!" Mark grabbed his shoulder. "We need to go, now." They said nothing on the walk back. In the apartment, Mark scrubbed his hands in the sink, then sat on the couch, head in his hands. "We call the cops," he said. "They'll think I did it." "You did do it." "No," Elliot said. "He's me. He is me. I don't understand it, but I didn't kill myself." Mark stood. "You expect me to believe that? Why would I lie? You saw it. It was me." "Then explain it, Elliot. Make it make sense." Silence. Mark paced. "You said you got a phone call. From yourself?" "Yes." "And you found a second phone?" "Yes." "Show me." Elliot retrieved the cracked phone, handed it over. Mark examined it, scrolled through. "Call logs, timestamps. There's nothing else on this thing." He paused, looked up. "There's a message," he said. "Just one. Recorded audio. Timestamped 2 days from now." He hit play, static, then a voice. Elliot's voice. "I was wrong," it said. "It's not over. It just loops. Again and again. Every time I bury him, I wake up with the blood. Then I call. Then I find the body. Then it's me. And every version of me thinks they're the real one. But none of them are. It keeps going. And every time, I forget more." Silence. Then, "Don't trust him. Don't trust yourself." The file ended. They stared at each other. Mark whispered, "This is insane. I don't know what to do. I think you have to stay awake." "What?" "Tonight. Don't sleep. Don't give it a chance to reset. Maybe it only happens when you're unconscious, like a dream looping. You think this is a dream? I don't know what it is, but we need to break the cycle." They drank coffee, turned on all the lights, took shifts pacing the apartment. AM 1:30, 2.2:11. The phone rang. Mark and Elliot both stared at the screen. Unknown caller. Elliot answered. The voice on the line was sobbing. Don't sleep, it said. Whatever you do, don't sleep. Then it hung up. Morning came. Nothing changed. Elliot still had the blood-stained shirt, the dirt under his nails, the second phone. He'd made it through the night. Maybe we broke it, Mark said. Elliot nodded, but he didn't believe it. 2 days passed, then another. The nightmares returned. He saw himself in the woods over and over. A knife flashing, a scream, blood on the leaves, then waking, always with dirt under his nails. The cycle hadn't broken. It had learned to wait. Mark came over less and less. He said work was busy, said he was scared. Elliot couldn't blame him. The calls never stopped, every night. 2:11 a.m., always his voice, always the same warning, don't sleep. He started recording the calls, but they never saved. Files corrupted, glitched, like the phone itself rejected evidence. Eventually, Elliot stopped answering. Then, one morning, he woke up to a knock on the door. 2 men in suits, police, calm but stern. Elliot Dean, yes? We'd like you to come with us. No sirens, no cuffs. But they didn't let him change clothes. At the station, they showed him a photo. A body. Throat slashed. Mark. No, Elliot whispered. You were the last person he spoke to. Security footage shows you near his building. I didn't do. You own a hunting knife, Mr. Dean? They held him in a cell. The walls were gray. No clocks. No windows. A guard came by, slid a tray of food under the door. Phone call, he said. They led him to a small room. One phone, one line. Who am I calling? Elliot asked. The guard shrugged. You asked for it. Elliot stared. He hadn't asked. Still, he picked it up. Hello? His own voice answered. You did it, it said. You killed him. Now it's started over. No, Elliot said. You killed him. We're the same. I never wanted this. We always do. The line clicked. Dead. They moved him to a psychiatric unit. White halls. Soft walls. He slept, finally, sedated, and woke up in his apartment. 11 a.m. The phone rang. Elliot cried. Why me? He whispered. The voice didn't answer, just breathed. He threw the phone across the room. The screen cracked. That morning, AI package arrived. No label, no return address. Inside, a phone, the same model, clean, working. Only one contact saved, him. He screamed, threw it into the garbage disposal, watched it grind. The phone rang in his bedroom. He didn't go outside anymore. Didn't trust the mirrors. The man in them moved a split second late. He kept finding things, a shirt he didn't remember owning, stained with blood, a note in his handwriting. Bury it deeper, a map, hand-drawn, showing 10 X's in the woods. He dug one up. Bones. Human. Male. His jaw. He set a fire. Burned everything. Photos. Clothes. Phones. Then woke up the next morning, with soot in his lungs and a new phone on the counter. The same one. Always the same. He tried suicide. Pills. A blade. The noose. Each time he woke in bed, whole, breathing. Sometimes with a fresh scar, once with a stitched wound across his stomach. The body heals. The mind forgets. But the loop continues. Then, one night, the call came with a new voice. Not his. Hello, Elliot, the man said. Who is this? I'm the first one. What? The original. Before the loops, before the fracture. You're lying. Do you know why it started? Elliot was silent. Because you wanted to forget. And I let you. I buried the first body. You buried the second. And now we're all echoes. I don't believe you. You will. The call ended. He went back to the woods, dug a final hole, sat in it, waited. Nothing came. He fell asleep in the dirt, woke in bed. New scar, same time, same call. It's not a loop, It's a spiral, downward. Every version of Elliot more broken than the Yao. Last, more violent, more forgetful, until one day there's only one Elliot left, the worst one, the one who remembers nothing. That Elliot is waking up now, in your bed. Answer the phone, it's 2:11. He woke up with a start, as if pulled back from some other world. Sweat soaked his sheets, and his heart pounded so violently he could feel it rattling his ribs. His phone was in his hand, but the call had ended. He checked the screen. Call ended. 18 a.m. His mind reeled. The voice, the words. They were more than just a dream. He felt them inside him, crawling like worms. He stared at the phone. The call was from yesterday, but the time read today. It made no sense. He stumbled out of bed and looked at the digital clock on his nightstand. 2:19 a.m. The numbers glowed, red, like fresh blood, the same time as the voice. A cold thought gripped him. Was he trapped in some loop? Was time broken, or was he? Downstairs, the house was silent. Shadows stretched long and black across the floor. Elliot crept down the hallway, phone clutched in his trembling hand. He pressed it to his ear, but the line was dead now. Just a low, like an ancient machine still grinding away somewhere deep underground. He stepped into the kitchen. The window above the sink was a black mirror, reflecting his pale, drawn face. He could almost see the shape of another man behind him, watching, breathing. He forced himself to look away. The phone buzzed in his hand. Incoming call, unknown. Yesterday, 2:11 a.m. His breath caught in his throat. He didn't want to answer it again, but his finger moved on its own, pressing the green button. "Hello," he whispered. This time the voice was clearer. "You're still here, Elliot." It was his own voice. "You're always here. You can't leave. Not until you finish what you started." He felt his knees buckle. He sank to the floor, phone still at his ear. The air around him was electric, crackling. He could almost smell ozone, or something burning. What? Did I start?" he rasped. The voice laughed softly. "Look outside, Elliot." He turned. In the backyard, the soil was disturbed. A shallow grave, half dug. He had no memory of digging it, but he felt the weight of the shovel in his calloused palms, a smear of dirt beneath his fingernails. "Who's in there?" he sobbed. "You are," the voice said. "You always have been." The call ended with a click. Elliot crawled to the window, pressed his face to the cold glass. Moonlight glinted off something in the dirt. He saw the edge of a jacket sleeve. It was his jacket. He stumbled back, fell onto the kitchen tiles. His mind was fracturing. Was he alive or dead? Was this yesterday or today? His phone buzzed again, but he flung it across the room. It shattered against the cabinets, the screen splintering into 1,000 tiny cuts of light. The house groaned, a sound like old bones shifting. Elliot forced himself to his feet and went outside. The cold air slapped his face, cleared the fog from his mind. He moved to the grave, the loose soil. He dropped to his knees and clawed at the dirt. With each handful, his terror grew. Finally, his fingers scraped fabric. He yanked at it, pulling up the body in the moonlight. It was him. His own face, eyes closed, mouth slack, a perfect mirror, except for the bruises around the neck. Elliot screamed. The world blurred. His mind split open like a rotted fruit. He fell back, gasping, as the body's eyes flickered open. "I'm you," it whispered. "You're me." The body sat up, its movement slow and deliberate. It reached for him with dirt-caked hands. Elliot scrambled away, but the corpse kept coming, lips moving in silent words. He ran back into the house, slamming the door behind him. He locked it, though he knew locks wouldn't matter. His phone was in pieces on the floor. He picked it up, cut his fingers on the glass. Blood welled up, bright and real. At least this was real. A voice echoed in the darkness. "You can't run, Elliot. You can't hide. You're already inside." He turned. The mirror in the hallway reflected him, but the reflection moved wrong. It smiled as he cried. "Let me in," it mouthed. He screamed and smashed the mirror with his fist. Shards flew, some cutting his face, but he didn't care. He ran up the stairs back to his room. He slammed the door shut and pressed his back against it, gasping. Silence, but not safety. He felt the phone in his hand, whole again. He hadn't picked it up, hadn't fixed it, but it was there. The screen glowed. Incoming call, unknown. Yesterday, 2:11 a.m. He threw it across the room. It landed on the bed, still ringing. He wanted to ignore it, but his body wouldn't obey. He crossed the room, picked up the phone. "Hello," he croaked. "The Yao." Voice was his, but twisted, wrong. "It's your turn, Elliot. Dig deeper." He felt the weight of the shovel again, the cold metal biting into his palm. He didn't want to go back outside, but he couldn't stop himself. He moved like a puppet, driven by strings he couldn't see. He dug deeper, hands blistered, soil filling his mouth and nose. The body below grinned at him as he worked. "Almost there," it hissed, deeper still. The hole widened, the earth closed. Over him, cold and suffocating. He felt the walls of the grave pressing in. He was burying himself alive. And he was already dead. He woke up in his bed, gasping for air. The phone buzzed in his hand. Incoming call. Unknown. Yesterday, 2:11 a.m., the loop had started again. Days passed like seconds. He answered every time. Each call was the same. Each time. The voice told him to dig. Each time, he found himself buried in the end. He tried to change it, tried to break the cycle, but nothing worked. He stopped sleeping. Food tasted like ashes. His skin grew pale, translucent. He was becoming a ghost in his own life. The only constant was the phone call. One night, desperate, he called Mark. "Mark, I need you to come over," he begged. Mark's voice was wary. "Elliot, it's the middle of the night. What's wrong?" "I don't know. I don't know. What's real anymore? Please." An hour later, Mark stood at his door. He looked older, worn down by something Elliot couldn't name. "What's going on?" Mark asked. Elliot pulled him inside. "It's the phone, the calls. I'm stuck." "Mark, I keep dying, but I wake up again. It's always the same time, always the same voice." Mark looked at him with pity and fear. "You're not making sense," he said. "You need help." Elliot grabbed his shoulders. "No, you don't understand. You'll see. Just stay here. Watch." He sat on the bed, phone in hand. He waited. 2:11 a.m. came. The phone rang. Incoming call. Unknown. Yesterday, 2:11 a.m. Mark's eyes widened. "Who is it?" Elliot answered. "Hello?" The voice was his own, twisted and mocking. "You brought him here, Elliot. He's part of it now." Mark looked at him in horror. "What is that? Who's speaking?" Elliot couldn't answer. The voice laughed. "He'll dig too, Elliot. He'll dig until he's nothing." The phone cut out. Mark backed away. "Elliot, what the hell is this? Are you messing with me?" "I'm not, I swear. I don't know how to stop it." Mark shook his head. "I'm leaving. This is insane." He turned for the door, but it wouldn't open. He rattled the knob, kicked at it, but it stayed shut. The room grew colder. Frost crept across the windows. The phone buzzed again. Incoming call. Unknown. Yesterday, 2:11 a.m. Mark backed into a corner, shaking his head. No, I'm not listening to that." But Elliot couldn't stop. He answered. "Hello." The voice was different this time. Mark, do you remember what you did?" Mark's face went white. "Who is that?" "You helped him bury it, didn't you?" The voice whispered. "You thought it was over, but it's never over," Mark screamed. "Shut up! Shut up!" He lunged for the phone, but Elliot held it away. The voice laughed, a low, rasping chuckle. "Mark, you're next! Dig!" Mark fell to the floor, hands over his ears. Elliot dropped the phone. It kept ringing, even without power. Mark rocked back and forth, eyes wide and empty. Elliot realized then that he wasn't alone. In the mirror, he saw them, both of them, standing over him. Himself and Mark. Both dead, both grinning. He knew the loop wouldn't end. Not for him, not for Mark. They were echoes, trapped in a moment that had already passed. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, it was all the same. He felt the earth beneath him, cold and heavy. The phone rang one last time. Incoming. Call unknown. Yesterday, 2:11 a.m., he answered. Hello? The voice was final now. Welcome home, Elliot. You've always been here. The phone went dead. The world went dark. He felt the soil close over him, the weight of the grave. And he knew there was no waking up this time. He was the call, and the call was him. Forever buried in yesterday.